What's up YouTube, it's Tempest. This is a video, this is something I've never done before, but this is a actual tutorial, more so than it is a deck profile. It is a deck profile in a way, but it's kind of my own personal take on a certain build. You know what, screw that, I'm not going to go for that. I'm just going to show you what it is. This video is called Reviving SoulSaver, basically. After Barcgal got banned, Royal Paladin took a big hit because they couldn't stand some of the other decks out there. Barcgal gives them the 5 cards in the soul to auto win with SoulSaver, which is basically the whole point of the deck. But with Barcgal getting banned as a starter, they're left with less viable options. More specifically, the Galahad ride chain, or as my friends at Team Ride the VG call it, the Falahad ride chain. But Galahad is actually not a very bad thing. It's actually quite a very good card, especially because the only reason it exists is to make SoulSaver live. So this video is going to be about how to make SoulSaver Dragon live again as a Royal Paladin card, because basically nowadays the only Royal Paladins that are viable as Vanguards are Alfred, Demon Slaying Knight Lohengrin, and Palamedes. Yeah, SoulSaver is kind of dead, but you know, you can try running him and do it your own way, but this is my take on the build. So, it is Galahad style, which means starter is Drangal. You don't run Stardust Trumpeter or anything else. You run Drangal because he's the best. You go 8 crit because critting is good. If you're going to want SoulSaver to be your win condition, you're going to want as much crit as possible. But you only run 8 crit because you need the 4 heals, and of course stand triggers are really bad in this deck, and you need the 4 Margals for the extra soul charging, because if for some reason you missed the Galahad ride chain, you absolutely need to have Margal in your soul for the 5th card. Counting Drangal, which is your starter, is 0, your grade 1, your grade 2, your grade 3, Margal is your 5th, 6 if you have Pongal Counterblast to get SoulSaver, and then ride SoulSaver for you. So you need this trigger lineup. There is basically nothing else you can change except maybe take out Alabaster Owl for Lou, but Alabaster's better because he's a 5k. Grade 1s, this is my current build. 4 Galahad, because you need Galahad. 4 Marron. 3 Lake Maidens, because you need to pull out the SoulSaver, so that helps with the drawing. And then 4 Pongal that also help with SoulSaver. Now, the only reason I'm running this build is because I am running my 4 perfect guards in my Palamedes deck. So what I might do is I would either cut the 4 Marrons for perfect guards, or I would cut 1 Pongal and the 3 Lake Maidens for perfect guards. Which is probably more ideal for a build that you would probably consider if you're a Royal Paladin player and you really like SoulSaver. That's the whole reason this deck exists, excuse me, is because you want to make SoulSaver live. So, that's the grade 1s. Oh, that's not all the grade 1s though. There is one other card in here. This is a personal choice from my friend Scarecrow Kaiser. And it's one of his favorite cards. It's Young Pegasus Knight. Now, these aren't actually in the deck. These are cited, cited quotation marks. They're actually really good, but for the grade 3 lineup in this deck, the only time he's really live is if 1, you soul charge with Pongal, 2, you soul charge with Margal, 3, you soul charge with the Demon Slaying Knight. Or, I mean, I guess if you ride Galahad, then you get soul charge too. But he's okay, but his problem is that soul charging happens during the main phase, and when you want to push for game, you gotta ride SoulSaver. That means you Soul Blast 5. And honestly, after that, chances of you soul charging are pretty slim because you're gonna want to win on that turn. So for early and mid game, Pegasus Knight is consistently good if you're soul charging, Whereas late game, when you either call final turn and push for the SoulSaver, or if you want to wait the extra turn and give them with the crits and big beefy grade 3s, if your final turn fails a SoulSaver, then he's still bad. So, even though he's good, and not only does he hit for 9k the first time, but every time you soul charge, he gets 3k. So that's really good, but it's only really good mid game, I think. So, I might try testing it, but for now I'm gonna be running Marron. Grade 2s, this is also subject to change. The 4 Galahads. Oops. Yep. You need him. Right now it's 3 Gallatin. And then I have 15 grade 1s, 8 grade 3s, so wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. Well, that's annoying. I could have sworn I had room for one more. Alright, well, it turns out I only have enough room for 9 grade 3s in here. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing, so I might end up taking out another Marron for another grade 3. Right, because what I wanted to try and do was run 3 of the Akane, because she helps you get out the Pongals and Margals for extra soul charging. Or you could run Lamorak, you know, because he's another 10k. Or you could run Blaster Blade for retiring. Really, when it comes to grade 3s and grade 2s and Royal Paladins, actually, really when it comes to anything in Royal Paladins, it's pure preference. Yeah. Okay, so and now onto the grade 3s of the build. This is key for Galahad, because he's going to be your main thing. 2 Demon Slaying Knight, Lohengrin, and then 2 SoulSaver. For Lohengrin, his skill is at the beginning of your main phase, you can soul charge 2. No, sorry, you soul charge 1, and then he gains 2k until the end. So he's really good for hitting. As far as Scarecrow Kaiser is concerned, him boosted by Pegasus Knight is a guaranteed hit. But it's kind of hard for that to go off all the time. So you really got to be careful with what you do with this, and especially like I said before with the whole SoulSaver, Soul Blasting, that kind of screws up your Pegasus Knights. So that's just me though. And then of course SoulSaver. Usually if you have a Pongal or a Lake Maiden or a Marron behind SoulSaver, he's good because he gets 3k when he attacks a Vanguard. So that's pretty good. Like I said, this is more personal preference to the deck, but this is a tutorial more than a deck profile. But I'm going to go through it again so you can see. Remember what you want to do, just so you can see. Okay, Drangal is your starter. At the turn, you look at the top 5. Galahad's there, it doesn't matter that much. If it's in your hand, whoa, even better. You ride Galahad. Okay, on your next turn, you use the Galahad skill. If you can, you will ride the grade 2. If you can't, well, then you ride something else. If you need to, you can ride Galatine or something like that, or Blaster Blade or whatever. But pretend it's not there. That's fine. You call Margal, you soul charge. And then you call Pongal, you counterblast 1, and you soul charge. Guess what? On your turn 3, you can drop SoulSaver, and you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards you need in your soul to do it. Alternatively, if you do end up riding the grade 2 Galahad, where did I put it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, if you do end up riding the grade 2, that's good, because then on your next turn, you get to check the top 5, and if you hit the grade 3, then you get to soul charge 2. 1, 2. And that builds up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in your soul. Galahad makes 6. And then if you want to use Pongal's skill to search SoulSaver, you can do that. And then that hits 6k, not 6k, sorry, 6 cards in the soul. So now you have the ability to use Galahad's skill, which lets you counterblast 2 and give him plus 3000 and plus 1 crit. And that's good for 1 turn. And then on your next turn, you can just drop SoulSaver per game because you already searched it with Pongal, so why not? So, people are saying this deck isn't as consistent as Palamedes, nor is it as explosive. But if you can get the Galahad Superior Ride Chain off and get the 6 cards in the Soul, then not only does he become very, very good, but it just makes the final turn of SoulSaver that much more explosive. So, that's the deck. That's the tutorial. For Royal Paladin players, I hope you found it useful. And if you didn't, well, I'm sorry, but this is just my way of playing it. And I'm gonna maybe test it out a little bit more. I really think I like the Palamedes build I have right now a lot more, but after going through it, I see this deck has a lot more potential that has been untapped currently. So we're gonna try and go over it a little bit more, but we'll see how it goes, and then I'll post my results later if it goes anywhere. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.